So today, what we're talking about is buying a home at 30 with a 401k. Don't make these mistakes.
Ooh, golly, no. Yes, no. In this video, we will be talking about how to buy a home with your 401k and what mistakes to avoid. Please know this is not necessarily a recommendation, but people are asking how to do it, so we're going through it.
So I'm 30 years old. I'm looking to buy my first home. I need to make a down payment of $15,000 and I have $40,000 in my 401k plan.
Okay.
Should I withdraw funds early to make a down payment? And what potential penalties can I incur if I do that?
I can't do the math in my head offhand to figure out how much you have to take out of the plan to have $15,000 net. Because just to be very clear here, 30 is less than 59 and a half, right?
The age. He's talking about age, not the money. Right.
Well, but still, 30 is less than 59 and a half. But 30 years old is less than 59 and a half. So what that means is you do not have in-service access to your 401k or safe harbor money. All right? So if all of your $40,000 is deferral and safe harbor money, you can't get it out. All right? Well, we'll talk about hardships. Yeah, there's some hardships and stuff like that. And because he's talking about a withdrawal, we are eventually going to get to participant loans, but right now we're talking about taking the money out. But if you're 100% invested in a discretionary match or employer profit sharing money, that can theoretically be available for an in-service distribution. So you could take $15,000 out of your employer accounts. I said could, not should, and not definitely are able to, but you could theoretically take $15,000 out of your employer accounts. All right?
Part of the reason you're hedging is...
with the big butt, yes.
Part of the reason you're hedging is because it depends on what's in your document, right?
Exactly. Okay, now we're talking, but the law says that's possible. It's also legal for your employer's plan document to not let you do an in-service distribution until the money's been in there for 15 years, or maybe you're not 100% vested yet, or maybe there is no in-service distribution rule, all right? So that's why we're a little bit of hedging there, because we got a lot of possibilities we have to take care of, all right? And then penalties. Well, there's one penalty and there's one tax. And then that's not even...
And one ring to rule them all?
In one ring to rule them all, yes, dear. Thank you for the reference, yes. And that's not taking into account opportunity costs. What's the penalty because he's under 59 and a half?
10% because it's early withdrawal.
Right, 10% excise tax penalty. This is going to be subject to that. I know there's a lot of new distributions available to participants that are not subject to a 10% excise tax when they're under 59 and a half, but I do not believe that this is one of those. All right, but then this is going to be subject to a 20% mandatory withholding. So right then you can't take out 15 grand. To get 15 grand, you're gonna have to take out, I'm doing math in my head badly, $18,500 or something like that. And you're gonna be, so to have 15 grand down payment on your house, okay, you're gonna have 18,500-ish come out of your 401k plan. You're gonna have a $1,850 10% excise tax penalty, okay, and also that $18,500 is taxable. And yes, I did correctly not reduce the taxable amount by the excise tax because that's not how the math works, all right?
And then just the small little caveat is there's a difference between what is supposed to be part of the withdrawal, the 20%, but then there's your ultimate tax liability, which is trually
right, depending on what your tax bracket is.
You have extra income that year.
Right. Oh yeah, might put you in a different bracket. Okay.
Right.
Yeah, that counts. That counts as adjusting your tax bracket. Okay. Oh, Catherine, you like talking about opportunity costs.
Well, so the interesting thing about this is you're taking money out of your retirement plan, and the earlier you put money in, the longer time it has in the plan. Generally, the better it is in terms of the total sum at the end. But what you have to weigh out is buying a house right now, getting you into a place you have to. Is it an opportunity you have to do? So you're going to have to weigh out that opportunity cost versus your retirement opportunity cost.
Exactly. We were lucky to be able to buy a house in our 20s.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, we were in our 20s when we bought our house, and I understand now it's a lot more difficult. Okay. So there's the but taking $15,000 out of your retirement plan when it's not, because remember, we're taking more than $15,000 out of your retirement plan. Taking that out early in your savings career, okay, that's going to have a massive impact. So because you're only going to reduce your potential mortgage by $15,000, but take over $18,000 out of the plan, what are you expecting to get? I mean, if you want to look at it from an opportunity cost point of view, that 18.5 is losing a lot of money in the retirement plan. And are you expecting your house gain to make up the difference? Okay, and
super hard to know.
Our home, since '08, our home prices have. I know there's some places in the U.S. where home prices are just absolutely skyrocketing. Not everywhere. Not everywhere. Okay, you can't get 10% a year on all real estate, right? So you've got that opportunity cost to wait.
If I decide that withdrawing the money out of my 401k plan isn't the best option for me, should I look at taking a loan out of my 401k plan?
Yes, okay. It's not without complications and risk though, but I think that's more the should, okay? What's nice about your example is that you've got a I know it was a minute ago, you got a $40,000 account balance, all right? So the maximum loan availability is $20,000. You're asking for 15, that's less than 20. You should be able to take the participant loan. So what's nice about a participant loan is that, yes, there's fees involved, but when you pay it back, what are the tax consequences of paying a participant loan back timely and completely?
Zero.
There are no tax consequences, okay? So we got fees and everything else, but there's no tax consequences. What is one of the problems or side effects or things to take into account with a participant loan?
You're paying it back in after-tax dollars.
You're paying it back in after-tax dollars, true, but that's okay. But if you no longer work for that employer, okay.
Yeah, you might have income due that. Well, not income due, but income that
the
goes
whole
on your...
loan might be due, okay.
Well, due means it becomes income to you and you pay taxes on it that year.
Right, or you pay it off.
Right.
Right, okay. Is the interest on a 401k participant loan deductible when it's used to buy a house?
No.
Correct. Nope. Because the plan is not a lien holder. Okay, it's it's part of your account balance, so it's not deductible. All right.
The super interesting thing is in 2024, the interest you're paying on this is 10-ish.
Right.
And you're paying yourself back 10%. You're giving yourself a loan, and that might not be so bad.
Right.
Am I even able to take out a $15,000 loan for the down payment?
From the plan's point of view, if the plan allows for participant loans, yes. What's the non-plan complication, Catherine?
It's just how will the mortgage company look at it? Will they say, oh, now you have a liability every month that you have to pay back towards this $15,000, so you have less income every month to pay for the loan. They may have rules about where money is supposed to come from because it shows how liquid you are generally. So, first answer is yes, it's possible from the 401k plan, but check to see what the consequences are on the mortgage side.
Right. Now, I realize when we were talking about this, I realized the first time we bought a house was literally in a different millennium. So it's been a while. But
how's your Falcon from that
my
millennium?
Millennial Falcon? I love that one. Back then, if the level of bank record detail they wanted was kind of substantial, and if $15,000 suddenly showed up in your account and you didn't have a note literally from your parents or grandparents saying that this was a gift and it had to specifically be a gift, not a loan.
He's still scarred.
Well, no, I'm
He's still scarred 40 years later.
It's okay. That you had to make sure that, because they were looking for that. So my concern now is that while it's okay with the 401k plan to take the $15,000 out, what's the mortgage company going to do with that? Okay, don't know, because if they do make out that it's a participant loan, even though it's not recorded to a credit bureau or anything like that, your monthly payments for your participant loan are going to be taken into account for how much you can afford.
Interesting caveat, though. If you do it as a loan, it's easier to pay it back if everything falls through, right?
Yes.
Very,
very true statement.
So if you take a withdrawal and you have 15 grand now in your hand and you have all these tax consequences, you can't necessarily turn around and say, oops, here's 15 grand back to the 401k
Because the withholding
plan.
payment's already gone off to the IRS.
So, I mean, yes, then you might not take a paycheck for the next 10 weeks and put more back in, but it is harder to do. It's more, so if you're in a position where it's like, oops, can't do this, oops, can't get the house, it's easier for you to just go, oops, here's the check back.
Pay your participant loan back early.
Pay it back early. So there is a little bit of flexibility that's nice.
So it's a little bit of an upside of taking a participant loan out. If you want to learn more about participant loans, maybe in-service distributions as well, check out the link in the description. Now, you know what to do. Like, subscribe, tell your friends and neighbors about us, tell the people you don't like about us, all right?
And Christopher's looking for that first carrier pigeon with the message.
Oh, that would be great. Or a howler from Harry Potter. Okay, that'd be great. And you know how to get in touch with us directly, sales@hunterbenefits.com. Don't forget to keep those cards and letters coming.
Thanks for watching. Toodaloo.